Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the official channel for Masterpieces Writing and Editing LLC. My name is Erica, and I'm the owner and the head writer and editor. In this particular video, I've been wanting to do for quite some time, but it took me a while to just get the nerve to even do it, but I'll do a separate video to let you know why the process took so long. But my original idea just involved conquering your day in general, so just basic tips to just help you make better use of your time, whether you wanted to apply it to your home life, your work life. But with everything that's been going on with the pandemic and a lot of people having to shift from working in a physical location and now working from home, I wanted to provide some tips to help everyone make that transition as smoothly as possible. I've been working from home for about 5 years now, and I understand how everyone feels right now because it was not by choice. It was not something that I planned or like consciously thought about before it happened. But again, that would be a separate video. So if you all do not mind, I am going to use my handy dandy phone here, and I'm going to review these tips with you to help you work from home effectively. And if you don't necessarily need it, but you know someone who does, feel free to share this video. And if not, just share it anyway. And also make sure that you like, you comment, you subscribe, all that good stuff. So, number one, and I feel this is the most important one, make sure you plan ahead. I did not do this at all when I first started working from home. I would just get up, see what I had to do for the day, procrastinate because I would be sitting there thinking about it, not wanting to do it. And outside of that, like just wasting more time. And when I finally do it, now I'm stressed out, I'm pushing for time, and I'm not really eating the way I should. I'm forgetting that I need to eat. And by the time it's bedtime, I'm overworked and I go to bed and I wake up and do the same thing. And it would show up in my work. And I do know, like in the beginning, that was not my best work. And when that had happened to me enough, I had to really just stop and think about, like, okay, what are you doing that you can do differently? Or what is it that you're not doing? And what I was not doing was planning ahead. I would just let the day tell me what will go on. So I've always been a planner person. But after I graduated from grad school, I felt like, what do I need a planner for? When now all I'm doing is going to work. However, I decided to start back using a planner, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. And I'm able to not only plan day by day, but week by week, month by month sometimes, if I'm able to. And in knowing what it is that I have to do ahead of time, that makes it easier for me to even approach it. So even if you can't review it weeks ahead, even if all you have are a few days to prepare for something, just make sure that you spend a little time with it, even if it's just before bed, before the day before. Like, know what it is that you have to do going into the next day, going into the next week, and if you do know, going into the next month. That way you can start to position yourself to be in a better mind frame so that you can go into it focused and dedicated, knowing what you have to do. And that also cuts down on procrastination, which I used to do a lot. But when you know, there's no time to waste. And a great way to make sure that you do not waste time is to follow a schedule. And that's number two. And I feel as if this fits directly into number one with planning ahead. So when you follow a schedule, there's no time for you to play. You have to get your work done and get your work done on time. And with me, I make sure that I have a general idea of, like, okay, so this is what my whole day is going to look like, and I know what certain time periods are going to look like. And I'm going to talk about scheduling breaks a little later, but it's like I know exactly when it's time for me to eat. I still take naps. Yes, I know exactly when it's time for a nap. I know when I should be done with a project, how much time I have. If I am going to watch TV while I eat, I know how much time I have. Like, it takes me forever to finish a show or a movie because it's like I'm on a strict schedule. So I only have a little while to watch it and I have to get back to work. And it also helps you hold yourself accountable because look at it. We all have 24 hours in a day. That's a lot of time. So you just have to learn how to make better use of it. Number three, get up and get dressed for today. This was one of the hardest ones for me to do because you're at home. I'm comfortable. What do I need to get dressed for? And it's funny that you see me dressed up like this now, but this isn't my normal attire. I'm more so like in the leisure wear. However, I still consider that getting up and getting dressed, like just putting effort into yourself. Even if all you feel like doing is getting up, brushing your teeth, washing your face, I'm fine with that too. No judgment here, but just put some kind of effort into yourself. The same effort that you would put into if you were going to a regular job, if you were going to a physical location every day, like you would put a little bit more effort into getting dressed for that. So give it to yourself. And I know that that can be difficult sometimes because you feel, oh, I don't need that. But make sure you invest in yourself the same way that you would do it if you felt it was benefiting someone else. So just give yourself some self-care. Number 4, limit distractions. This is another hard one for me because I've always been the type of person that's like, okay, if someone sent me a message or an email, like I have to immediately get back to it. Ooh, someone's calling. I have to answer. It could be urgent. But that's just mostly anxiety. You will be perfectly fine if you don't answer within 10 minutes or within an hour. Even if you can't get to it today and you have to call someone back tomorrow, that is perfectly fine. Now, a major culprit for a lot of people, it is social media because it's easy. Like, okay, I'm just going to scroll for about 5 minutes. That 5 minutes turns into 10, into 15, and the next thing that you know, you've been doing it for about an hour. And it's like, oh, like, now I have to get back to work, and then you don't feel like getting back to work because now it's like you've gotten yourself out of the mindset, which is why going back to having a schedule, like know how much time you can dedicate to any particular thing. But notifications are the number one thing that you should try to control. So even if you can't completely turn them off for a little while. So even if it's just for like an hour, 2 hours, however long it takes you to complete a particular task, like make sure that you do that because it's easy. As soon as you see something pop up on your phone, like, oh, I have to give attention to this. No, you don't. You have to give attention to what you're working on. Like, remember going back to your schedule? That's where your focus should be. So number 5, like I mentioned before, schedule breaks. And this was one thing that I did not do. And it was like I have to force myself to do it. And by the time I do it, it's like I'm interrupting my creativity, my flow. But it's like I'm hungry. I have to eat. But now I'm tired and I can't think. And it was just a mess, a complete and utter mess. But now I know exactly around what time of day I should be eating, how long it's going to take me during that break. And like I mentioned before, like with it taking me a while to watch TV, like I'm limited to how long I have to watch. So I'm perfectly fine with if all I have is about like 30 minutes or a movie or 10 minutes of a TV show. I'll finish it later. And that's also another reward for me. Like, ooh, once you finish, you can go back and finish this. So at the end of your day, you don't have anything to do. So once you're done, you can finish it. So oftentimes that works as a reward for me. However, I do know that sometimes, like, if I feel that I'm working pretty well, it's like I don't want to interrupt the flow. So, like, I allow myself to break the schedule and go overtime, and I might eat later. But that's only when I feel as if I can do this. But if it's something that you do all the time, major no. Make sure that you take those breaks. Even if all you're doing is taking 10 minutes just to regroup. I know a lot of people have to do a lot of conference calls, video conferences. That is very tiresome. Very tiresome. Take some time to yourself. And I know that people who do have clients, you want to do it back to back to back. Take some time for yourself to regroup. You are not a machine. And that's something that I had to remind myself of, which was very hard because you do think, oh, I can do it because I have done it, so I'm going to keep doing it. But just like a machine that's overused, you are going to wear yourself out. And you're not going to be functional. You're not going to be efficient. So make sure that you take those breaks and make sure that you schedule time to eat. Make sure. And just to give you a little snippet of my schedule, I do a little bit of work. And this is after I do self-care in the mornings before I go and get dressed. And after that, I have breakfast. And once that's done, I get into my major work. Now, it might be a little different for everyone else, but you just figure out what works for you.